Hey everybody, this is Sally Griffin, aka Millionaire Yogi, and I help visionaries become world-changing influencers. And today I am talking to you on the full moon of Pisces, which is the full moon of September. And I was talking recently about how the energy of September starts to just build and build. It's like all the kids go back to school, all the parents rearrange their plans and their schedules. And we in any form of business, it's like game on, especially after you've been away for August and you've had a lazy old time. But Moon in Pisces is a really interesting one for visionaries because it is the visionary moon. And we've got a full moon today, which I would recommend that you all start to go back to your vision and see how far you can stretch it, how big you can go with it. I'm just going to walk around a little bit and show you this place. Many years ago, I knew that I wanted to work in different places on the planet that were special places that really brought out incredible energy in people. And one of the ones that I chose is Mexico. And I just happened to be here for the full moon. I'm running a retreat in a week, but right now I'm just spending time with my parents. And so it's become like, just by visioning it as being a possibility for me to do all the work that I do, and also how important my parents are to me, inviting them to come out of Canada. Canada is beautiful in the summer, but Canada is really cold in the winter. And so we have created this as a hub where we meet up, and this is the family place. And, you know, look at it. It's just incredible. And this was all part of the vision that I set forward ages ago, many years ago, because the family was part of the vision. I didn't want to be just traveling around the world doing all the things that I do. I wanted to include my family and make sure that, you know, as my parents get older, I can tap into them and really, you know, they are part of my vision. So as this is Moon in Pisces, it's a very gentle moon, and I'm getting up. The sunrise has just started to happen. Maybe I can show it to you over there. The ocean it's raining, and it's all water, so it's all Piscean. And the sounds of the jungle and the sounds of the ocean. And there's some people getting all the, you know, the water ready for the hotel for the day. But you can see off in the distance. Let me see if I can find the sunrise. Everything is soft, feminine, super soft moon, this one. And so this is not about the drive. This is not about, you know, what can you push and achieve. It's a very different energy. You can feel it. It's very gentle. But as if we could dream, as if we could just allow ourselves to imagine what's possible. Then let your imagination flow on this moon. And it's a time also to connect with other visionaries. So after not seeing several people for months and months and months, all of a sudden people are getting in touch with me, the real visionaries, over this moon. There's been some incredible business going on for me because I'm launching a different project. And just tap into that. Just see how things start to align with the full moons. When you start to work this system of the Wheel of the Year, and you're working on the moons, and you're working on new moons to launch projects, and maximize energy on full moons, just start to watch how amazing it is. The alignment, the timing, the way things fall into place. And so I'm launching a new project, and it's all about the secret of symbolic marketing. It's a piece that I've wanted to do for a very long time, thinking about coaches and entrepreneurs, business owners, and a lot of women that I work with. It was, what would everybody need? You know, what would be a piece that everybody needed? And I went to a mastermind at one point. It was very techie nerdy. But I kind of like some of that techie nerdy stuff. And so at that time I learned from somebody who was a master in marketing that the difference between having a website where you have just your photograph on the home page and some information, that might get 20% turnover or bites. While you're not watching, you really want your business to be working for you. You want people to be picking up information. I actually believe word of mouth, it's old school, but it's one of the best systems because people actually trust what's going on. They trust their friends to tell their friends to tell their friends. And it might be slower at the beginning, but I actually think it's an incredible technique. Referrals, testimonials are all part of that. So anyway, I was at this techie nerdy event, and I learned from somebody who really is a master of that if you change over your photograph on your homepage to a video, the traction and the conversion rates go way up. So first of all, we know now that we are a culture. We're getting into Generation G now. I've just found that out. That relies on this kind of information. So me speaking to you versus a photograph of me is much more convertible to my business. But then I started thinking about, okay, I used to work in film for many years and photography. What kind of video would it be that would really convert? Because what a turnoff we find when we go onto somebody's website and the very first thing you hear, I'll go under this umbrella, is there's an immediate call to action, but it's not to get to know you. It's not to deepen your experience. Instead, what it is it's actually, the call to action is just buy this, buy this. And to me, that is it's the most crass end of advertising, shall we say. And a lot of people don't like it. They don't relate to it. So I started thinking about what would be a piece that would work, that really people relate to. And the piece is all the work that I do on the sacred pact to self. It's all about who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Because you're not just a product and you're definitely not a program. So who is the person behind the scenes? Who's the visionary, right? And on this visionary moon, I am letting you know that I now have a program which I wanted to introduce gently by introduction only. And what it is it's the piece that is the personal ad that goes onto that space on your website. It can also be used very much as an intro if you're a public speaker or if you have a presentation to do. It's the kind of ad that is extremely personal, but what it's based on is symbols. So the program that I'm running, that I'm releasing shortly, is called The Secret of Symbolic Marketing. And what you will end up with is an ad. And I have done my ad, but I'm not releasing it yet. So sorry about that. There's a little bit of a mystery going on right now, but I want it to go out at exactly the perfect timing, and I always work with perfect timing. This isn't it, but it's the time to mention it. So what you would end up with is an ad that is all about you in symbolic terms. Who's the visionary behind the brand? And that would be on your website on the homepage, and there would be a very simple call to action. There can be different kinds of calls to action which are not just buy my product. And so mine is just going to be, let's talk, speak to me. Because as we know, as we get a little bit better and more mature in business, I would say, it's not everybody that's your client. And bless everybody. You don't want to work with everybody, right? And I would not be the coach for everybody. So, but the ones who really vibe with me, who really get the way I operate, which is very much on a spiritual and symbolic level, this is the piece for them. And it would be working at a very deep level to talk about you as the visionary that you are. Now, once you've got that piece, that will last for years. Years and years and years and years. Because, I see the sun, maybe. Let me see if I can show you. I see the sun over there. Can we see it? Let me see if I touch this, will it change the... Oh yeah, there you go. You can see the sunrise. So why it works for visionaries is because what you're seeing is the person behind the brand. In a way, it's like looking at what motivates who is Richard Branson, not Virgin Airlines. That's the difference. And another piece that you might be interested in is that when you start to look at personal Instagram, guess which one has more traction or followers? Would it be Virgin, or would it be Richard Branson's personal Instagram? Let you answer that question in your mind. And then the answer is, it's the personal one. It's Richard Branson's personal that's got way more traction. So can you imagine if you start to work in a very different way, rather than it being your products that are of interest, it's the creator behind the brand that creates the trust in the way you work and the vision, and then anything that you come out with, any of your products, your programs, will, just by natural link to who you are, will be an extension of your vision. And you can sell them off, people getting to know you very well. So the program that I'm doing is an 8-week program, and I'm working with my, excuse me, I have to cough. I'm working with an excellent team, the Peppercorn Agency, who create music videos and have had years of experience in music videos. And what I wanted to do was bring something different to business, because we can agree business is pretty boring, isn't it? Business is pretty boring. But not if you're going in on the angle of who is the creator behind the business. That is fascinating. And so all the work that I'm doing now is around that. So it is all about visionaries. Oh, you can see the sunrise in Mexico. And I'll tell you all about that in the coming weeks and months, and you'll have an idea about what it is. But what I wanted to do was be able to work with people for 8 weeks, because the video people tell me that by the time they get somebody in front of the camera, oftentimes that person doesn't know really what their message is. And it's a problem in filming. So what I want to do is work with you for 8 weeks. Before that, we work through your sacred pact. We get who you really are. Then we work into what are the symbols of who you really are. Then we work it into a symbolic film script, and then they shoot it for you, and it will be a high definition cinematic TV ready ad in 4K. So it's state of the art, but all of that is included in the program. So you walk away with an amazing product, all about you, and I get to work at the deepest level with you. And it's 8 weeks, because what I believe is the longer I've been in business now, I don't want to do the longer programs now. I want to do things that really have impact for me. And maybe you feel that way as well. I love teaching my yearly programs or my infinity program, because it helps people really go step by step and create something amazing. But this is the icing on the cake. It's like when you've got your business, when you know what you're doing, when you really can speak from this place of heart down here about your vision, then it's time to create your ad. And so some of you will know instantly if you're ready for that. You'll just be like, oh yeah, that's me. And I was like that. So I shot my ad in June of this year, and I was like, that's me, it's time. And because I've worked in film, it was just like a piece of cake to create this script from my sacred pact, and then work with these really amazing videographers. Because they work in video and film, because they work in music, and they have a filmic kind of view on things, it's not the same as the typical advertising. It's more like you create, not a music video exactly, but the skill set is from the music world, where it's short pieces of visual imagery, and then you use your voiceovers. So what you're not doing is speaking to camera endlessly like this, which is a very boring ad. But this is not an ad. This is just me waking up in the morning in Mexico and inspiring you and giving you some ideas. But now is a great time to work on that vision. So think about, what are you up to? Are you living your life that you want to? I'm actually now living the life that I created many years ago. And the thing is about, when you start working on your thoughts become reality. And what we get at the end of the day is what we think is possible, right? We get the life that we think is possible. And right now, I'm living a life that I saw was possible for me many years ago. And here it is, sunrise in Mexico. It's so beautiful. So I wanted to leave you with that. Work on your vision and have a beautiful, soft, gentle, kind of feminine related day. And look at the moon tonight. I'll be looking at it just the way I'm looking at the sun. And namaste. So much love.